beloveds, I am delighted to be here today with my sweet sister, Tanja Horan. I love this lady. I love her mission. I love her passion. I do love talking about love. That's why we're doing Love Revolution interviews. And we were just chatting about how it is that she infuses love into all aspects of her life. And so I am super excited that she's going to be sharing that with us today. And with that, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here and to share why it's so meaningful for the work that I do with nonprofits.
Absolutely. So yes, let's absolutely dive in. So one of the things, I don't know if you want to talk about that story, but it was so like it was like I had tears in my eyes when I read that post on LinkedIn, which prompted this conversation to have this interview. And so would you mind I think that's so illustrative of how you infuse your business with love.
Certainly. I'm happy to share that story. And it really is a story that shares why I'm doing what I'm doing and why it's so meaningful for me. 20 years ago, it's amazing to me that it was that long ago, my son came up to me. He was a little toddler and I was in shock, and he gave me a little hug. Too young to speak, didn't know what to do, but gave me the love that he could and comfort, because that is the night my mom had called to tell me that she had been diagnosed with breast cancer. And you can think about all the fear and the unknown and what does that mean and what are you going to do? Right. And his sixth sense has always stayed with me, just his expression as a young child to be able to do that. But that impression stayed with me. And then about 18 years, we fast forward, I was able to get the opportunity, professional and personal, of a lifetime to work with an organization in Austin, Texas, called Addressing Cancer Together, with Arrow, which is another nonprofit, to help bring together and figure out a program to provide cancer care for the high needs patients in Central Texas and in the surrounding counties around. And to give additional perspective, high needs is under, for uninsured, and for our program, under 250% of federal poverty level. And how do we do that? And how do we change those outcomes so that we can identify women early, because we do the full spectrum, prevention through treatment, to be able to do that. So it spoke to me for that, but even more meaningful for me to do that is just shortly before I got that role, my mom had called and been diagnosed with a third time with her breast cancer. And this time it was stage 4, which means it had metastasized. And I later learned in conversation with her that it had always been her dream, and she had not been able to put it to fruition yet, to be able to find a foundation or something that would be able to help women who cannot afford the care. And so it was this double whammy, if you will, this opportunity, not only because I care to be able to help those who just do not have the resources or the circumstances, but also an opportunity for me to honor my mom. And help bring to fruition a dream that she had.
Yes. So it's that legacy. It's also that reminder of, sweet little babies just do what they can, and even us as professional women, there are times that we don't always have the words. There are times that our hearts speak to us that we may not, like even with your mom, like she had not yet put it into words what her dream was. And what I love about what you do is like what nonprofits do is they basically start with a mission to improve somebody else's life, because I'm not aware of any nonprofit that says, hey, give me all the money so I'm so good. And also, I don't, and so it's like nonprofits have it at its core. Let's love somebody else. Let's be good to somebody else. And also they have it at their core that we want to do this. And yes, we're going to make money so that we can pay for it, but we're not going to show a profit because we want to be able to extend this to folks who may not otherwise, have this, whatever this service is or this opportunity. And so love is infused right there. But then you take it like the next 5 steps where you're like, okay, but this is not only something that I'm passionate about, but I'm passionate about helping nonprofits scale. So I'm passionate about growing exponentially the love. And also of all the different nonprofits and all the different ways that you could have done that, to have that particular story of your mom and that legacy. Because the thing is, each one of us is truly facing a death sentence every single day, whether we have a diagnosis or not. Our time on earth is a day shorter every single day, whatever, we don't know what the end is. But your mom's legacy will live on, for decades, if not centuries, because of what you put in place with this nonprofit to serve those who can't afford. So that's what's so mind-boggling to me. And what I love about love is that it's exponential.
It is, and thank you. And that's exponential. I think that's a great way to describe it, because of the work that I do and what I want to be able to help empower those that are filling the gaps and helping those who need a solution that isn't quite there for them. Right. And part of what's really at the core of what I'm trying to do is I want to help them build and find the way and the structure that they need, that they want to sustain. So how do we do that financially or operationally so they can just thrive and they will expand that mission and being able to grow and be able to do it. I like to say also to help them with what they need so they can do it honestly without me, because then they can grow and they can build upon it and just move it forward the way that they need to for what they're trying to accomplish.
Right. So in a way, you're in a way setting up a system that you are making your job obsolete with that particular organization. And because you're an entrepreneur, then what that does is that frees you up to then go work with another organization who is going to thrive and be sustainable because of your work. And so that too is a form of exponential love. Because if your business model was, I need to be in there so that I can help you continue to sustain and thrive, and I need to always be there, that's difficult to scale as well. But if you say
it is,
and here's how you scale, and then I'm out so I can go help another organization, because there's probably more than, like 5 or 10 nonprofits in the country, right? I mean, that need you, right? Or 10,000 or 100,000 or
yes, however many they are. But the stat that I found fascinating that I just read, there are over 1.5 million nonprofits in the United States. That's not global. That's just in the U.S. And so there are so many organizations that are doing such great work. And, one visual we can even just think about it is the ripples in a pond. So if you throw the penny or the pebble and we go about the circles, that's what we're doing, right? We're going to hit the penny in the one place and then just let it expand. And grow.
Yes. Beautiful. Now, because I know you live in the Atlanta area, and you mentioned this nonprofit in Dallas. I assume that's Dallas, Texas, not Dallas, Georgia.
It is actually Austin, Texas.
Oh, Austin. You said Austin. Yes. Okay, I apologize. So, so Austin. Okay, so that is Texas. And so, so tell us a little bit about how you work with folks nationwide, what that looks like. How do you find folks?
So I have been, very fortunate to when I started to work with nonprofits through referrals and being able to reach out and saying, yes, this is an area that I want to work with and have others refer to be able to work with me. And, you know, the work we do really depends on where they're at. We might do some strategy work so they can really figure out how to extend that mission. We may do some messaging. We may optimize operations so the resources that they have can grow. We may also, I'm working with a number of organizations right now that are looking at different revenue streams, some that are trying to diversify, and the fees and what does that look like, and how do we put that together, and how can we scale that in addition to what they might be getting through funding and donations, because that gives them more balance, more consistency, and some more flexibility when they can do what's called earned revenue and charge a fee for their service. And anything that they were to make extra or profit, if you were in a nonprofit, just goes back into the organization, right? And so that they can do more and help offset some of their costs with that. So I work, if you are local, then I can work with you in person. If not, you know, we engage over Zoom, or if needed, I will fly out. I think there's power and value in at least having a face-to-face meeting, even if that's once. And then we can continue the work virtually. But we're also, one of the things that I really love to work with organizations is to understand how much they can handle and change. Right? How much, how fast can you absolutely absorb it? Because I want you to, I'm looking to help you to sustain, to get you in a path that you can execute at the cadence that you can handle it internally, and work with that for being able to do that.
And you know, that too is another place where you're loving, because I imagine that there are people like, I am all in, give me all the things, whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do. And then there are probably other people that are like, I'm all in, I really want to sustain, but what you're saying to me is super scary and I'm uncertain, or it is super scary and that is a hard no. And so I'm just wondering, like, when you are talking with them about your services, what that looks like in terms of getting, I guess, let me ask it this way. Do you ever have an issue getting people to see the vision that you see?
You know, one of the approaches that I think is really important that I work with is I listen. Okay. So I want you to tell me what's happening in the organization. You know, what's good, what might be a challenge, what if you had, because everyone always worries about money. I mean, in funding, I mean, it truly, you know, there's a part, and that's always a part of the equation. But to ask, what would that, if that wasn't an issue, resources were not going to be an issue. And by the way, I've never found an organization where it's not profit or nonprofit, but what would that vision look like? Okay, so how do we get you there?
So really they articulate the vision. Yes. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
I'm there to empower. I'm not there to set the vision. Because especially in this sector, the passion that you came with was the gift that you were giving. I'm just trying to hone it so you can give it more. And being able to move that forward. And so when you ask, you know, if they're not ready, then I try to at least give them something that can have them think about, right? You know, I've done, sometimes someone was mentioning an idea comes to me about a different way they might do some funding or they research. And so I'll do a quick search and then I'll just send the information on. No obligation, but I just want them to be able to have something that might be able to help them in that step forward. And then maybe they're like ready.
Right. Well, and two, I think because I know you so well that I know you're a visionary. And I think that was me putting something on you something that I see in you that you then don't put on your organizations. Because I imagine, okay, so now I need to kind of ask it this way. I imagine that when you're listening to somebody say, with unlimited resources, here's my vision, I imagine you can say, yeah, but with unlimited, you could do this and this and this. And so
Definitely.
Okay.
You could build it more, but also give a sense of how you can get there. Sometimes that vision is so big, the challenge comes to be, I don't know the next step.
Yeah.
Or there's so many things going on. How do I organize it? I'm working one with right now and doing a business plan for a new program is something new. Right? And those are areas that I can just help give that guidance because they know what they want to accomplish.
Right.
I'm there to help them, give them the tools to be able to get there.
Right. Yeah. That part I absolutely love. I absolutely love that it's like that wind beneath the wings, that, you know, tell me what it is that you want to do. And in some ways, actually you and I are similar in that regard. Like, where are you now? Where do you want to be? How are we going to get there? You know, and let's figure out those ways. And that part I love. Well, I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours, as we have done. And so I am going to close this interview and just say thank you for the love that you put into the world. Thank you for all the ways that you love on me, that you love on our Atlanta eWomen sisters, and that you love on nonprofits all over the country. And we are just so deeply grateful for the beauty and love of Tanja in the world. Great.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
You're welcome. All right, beloved. So join us next time for our Love Revolution interview. Thank y'all. Bye.